All right, good night. Welcome back to Caribbean Culture and Lifestyle. We call it Island Live on a Friday night. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys, on this live, we come together every Friday night, sometimes on Saturdays. We come together and we have discussion, we talk about different things, but lately I've been showing a series of videos that about herbs because we try and learn about herbs, and also this channel is a very interesting channel. Please check out this channel. Shout out to NFC Barbados for these videos. This is very important, and I do believe that this channel need to be mentioned. So my thing is, I do not own the rights to this video. I do not own the rights to the video, but we just running the video for informational purpose. And we also want you to remember that and we also want what I want to say for sure. Make sure that you before you use any herbs that mentioned in this video, before you use them, please speak to your doctor. This video is only for informational purpose only. All right. So I'm going to be running this video. Shout out to NFC Barbados for this video. All right. So I'm going to be playing this video, guys. So give me a minute. Let me get this video rolling. Okay. Let me see. Present. Share. Okay. So, all right. Let me find this video. See. Okay.
Welcome and thank you for joining us on this series, Bush Tea, Herbs, Plants, and Botanical Stories of Barbados. I'm Aisha Gibson Gill, and this is a production of the National Cultural Foundation. Today in the world of herbs and plants of Barbados, we join chemist Dr. Sonia Peter to hear from the people who sell and use herbs and plants. I'm Aisha Gibson Gill, and this is a production of the National Cultural Foundation of Barbados. And we continue with our series on Barbadian plants and herbs. And we're here with Dr. Sonia Peter in the fantastic Cheapside Market. We've been in the land, we've been in the lab, we've been in the healing space, and now we're in one of the spaces that you get your healing because we're looking at plants as food, as your medicine.
What's up, wonderful?
Thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I first want to sort of emphasize my area of focus, which is the conservation of plant biodiversity related to what we have as a tradition for health, medicine, and food. We've been collecting data from way back in the 1600s to the 1800s about plants that were of relevance to a fashioned healthcare system during that period. We found that there are 60 plants, which are still growing currently, that were used by that population. 60 plants, that's
Wow.
right,
Okay.
that were used by that population during the period of slavery for the ravages of that period. You know, a lot of the plants were used for wound healing, for intestinal disorders, for skin conditions, for cuts and wounds, etc. And what I wanted to trace was how the relevance of that period is seen and translated in our modern situation. I'm happy to say that we do see a translation, though we have lost some connectivity. And this is what I'm working to sort of reconnect people via the work of the Biocultural Education and Research Program.
Okay.
I am so happy that you asked me to come to this market because I can see it is alive. We had a beautiful chat with one of the vendors, and the thing about biodiversity is that we need to see a wide range of plants still being used. We know that when the ravages of natural weather systems or other occurrences impact on some plants, we want to make sure that we've got others that we can rely on. And if you do not have a biodiverse selection, then it means that you can really get, the ones that you need wiped out with no replacement. So I was happy to see we had the Cersei bush, which we also call Corella. And in our modern interpretation, that is used for colds and flu, relevant to COVID-19 that's bothering us now. And there's a lot of confidence in the Barbadian public about using Cersei bush for colds and flu. Any Barbadian you speak to will tell you about Cersei bush.
And I can testify to that. Any Barbadian.
And that bitterness that they complain about, that is really where the medicine is.
Right.
In addition to Cersei, we've got gully root. Gully root is also used for colds and flu, but it has a lot of sulfur compounds in the root system. And only recently, some scientists in Jamaica discovered that those compounds in the root are good for cancer. He has all of the plants of the mint family. He has I'm trying to remember them all, and I may not, but I know you've got footage of them. All of the mints. He's got basil, he's got peppermint, etc. He's got thyme, exactly. There you go. In addition to that, he has lemongrass, which is from the grass family.
Or fever grass.
Or we also call it fever grass. So he has the diversity we're looking for. And though he's only one example, I think he's an example that tradition is alive. In addition to looking at plants for health, we also have to look at the fact that food is also our medicine. There's a great initiative being put in place by the Rockefeller Foundation in New York, which is called the Periodic Table of Food. And they're looking to have listed 1,000 foods instead of the 12 that form 75% of our current food sources.
Oh,
so that is ridiculous.
Only 12 form.
12 food sources form or contribute to 75% of what we look for as food in our diet.
From the plant system.
From the plant and from the animal system. Okay, 75%. But that is really ridiculous because, again, if any natural event were to wipe these out, then we're looking at disaster. So this initiative is very vital, it's very important to have 1,000 food listed. And what they're doing is drawing on traditional knowledge from a global community. And I'm so excited to be part of that initiative because I'm going to be pushing our Caribbean foods, and especially our Barbadian foods, which we know have fortified our population. And to me, we see that in our centenarian population. I don't think that many people understand that this small island comes in second when we look at longevity and population per capita, centenarians per capita. To me, that is an amazing achievement, but it's because we have been using food as medicine. We know that we hear about ground provisions being important, and they are. Not only do they provide roughage, which is good for our intestinal system, but they also provide a lot of antioxidants which stave off disease. So we have our sweet potatoes, our yams, our edibles, our cassavas, and it's all being displayed here. Also, something that is not well known, that when you consume foods that are colorful, like the carrots that are yellow, watermelon that is red, guava that has the red inside, These things, tomatoes, which you see lovely displayed here, are also rich in antioxidants, and there's a particular one called lycopene, which a lot of research has been done on that to show that it staves off cancer. So what I'm saying is that our centenarian population has been fortifying themselves with these ground provisions and these culture foods, and I think that has contributed to longevity on life.
And this is us cooking from what we can, not just forage, but what we've planted in our kitchen garden.
That's right.
So the emphasis on food security as well. It isn't just healthy food as medicine is now a foreign thing that you're looking to bring in. You're saying when we were boiling down our own native cherry tomatoes and we were eating our own colorful greens.
That's right, and we're making our oil down with all the breadfruits and
the yellow sweet potatoes, the red sweet potatoes,
right.
different orange ones.
That we were indeed producing fortifying meats.
And Barbadian plants, Barbadian foods are medicine.
Correct.
What about the bush for the tea?
Well, once you're talking about fancy medicine, you're talking about bush tea. And so we've got quite a variety. And I think we'll have an opportunity to talk a little more about that as well, the things that turmeric that forms a very pleasant tea. It's anti-inflammatory, good for arthritis. We know ginger as well, very pleasant tea. Similarly, good for arthritic tea. The same cerci, you can make a tea from the leaves, the bush. Though it's bitter, I think Barbadians understand that bitter medicine is what works, good for colds and a lot of the mid family similarly that allow your respiratory system to respond because of the aromatics in the hot fruit, and all of that helps, to put you into a good health status.
And you can find all of this in this market on a Saturday morning.
Yes.
Soup. Barbadians like what people call a water or light soup, and then we end up putting a lot of
and then we fortify it.
chives and a lot of marjoram,
all of the seed things, and again the sweet potato and all of that is going to add. Another thing that those ground provisions do add is what we call slow release carbohydrates. They've got a low glycemic index and less likely to contribute to things like diabetes. And we know that our centenarians are sturdy of not suffering from diabetes and hypertension. And this again is the point that I raised that the type of foods that they're eating were really their medicine and what allowed them to live a long and healthy life.
My mom, her name is Yulita Thorne, and we literally grew up in Cheapside Market. She started doing this, right, so as a means of support of her children after, like in the old time days, her husband went off and leave her. So she found this as a means of support to raise her children, right? And for her, it was easy because it had flexi hours.
Yes.
Like she could come and do this part of the day and then spend part of the day with her children.
Yes.
And we live on a plot of land, and she started planting everything that we grow. So she came to town and she would sell what she didn't sell, she would give away, right? Just to make ends meet, and that was basically it. The reason why she got into herbs is that she realized the benefits of having natural traditional herbs in the body as opposed to having conventional medicine, right? She's actually a breast cancer survivor.
Wow.
And this in January will be 10 years that she has been surviving breast cancer. And our customer base is like basically a lot of people who are into the natural products and their benefits, because each and every single thing that we sell here carries a benefit.
Yes.
Right? To the body, right? And as a whole.
Yes. And we're going to look at some of them. But this story about your mom, Anthony, is absolutely amazing. So could you tell me what plants did she use to help her with her experience of cancer?
Well, we have plants like dandelion,
Okay.
rosemary,
Yes.
tarragon,
Yeah.
and other herbs that you can find. I know a lot of herbs because I used to do tour guiding for in the heart of Barbados.
Okay.
So I learned a lot of herbs, um, bushes, their medicinal use and what they're used for.
Yes.
I even have I even have my books at home where I can tell you what what rock balsam would do, what
Yes.
Saoirse would do, what
Okay.
right. So I still have that tradition of hiking the gullies and
Yes.
touring the gullies and telling you
That's great.
what I can use, what I cannot use for certain stuff, cold. And we have a lot of medicinal plants that people do not go to, like um, wormwood.
Yeah.
You will still find wormwood. I remember my mother pounding wormwood with a little white rum when you have a
Okay.
cold or anything like that and give you. We have Wonder World, right? We have Tizan, Gully
So
Root.
now that you are talking about some of the plants, maybe we could start at the end here, where we have the Corolla or Circe. So could you handle, because I don't want to handle you. So could you show? Yes. So this is it's commonly called Corolla, I think, in other Caribbean
Yes,
islands.
yes,
But here we call it Circe. It's
yes.
the fruit from the Circe bush plant. So what do you know that as being good for?
Oh, this is good for cleansing the blood,
Okay.
right? You cut it
Yes.
open, you take out the seeds,
Right.
and this is you can cook this up, and this is good for cleansing the blood.
Okay. It's also the whole Circe plant is also used for regulating diabetes as
Yes,
well,
yes,
and also for making a tea for cold and flu.
right.
Okay. So then we have rosemary. So could you tell us about rosemary?
Well, well, rosemary, I know it's good for fish, but when I
As a culinary herb,
right,
memory.
Memory.
right, it's a good memory food.
Yes.
I know for sure when I'm cooking rice, when my rice is going to steam down,
Yeah.
I cannot steam down my rice unless I put at least 3 pieces of rosemary.
Okay. Yeah, so it is a rich culinary herb, but it is also said to be good for memory. And in the time when there's a lot of Alzheimer's going on, I know of persons who are turning to rosemary
Yes.
to boost their diet, to probably try to stave off that event because nobody wants to go through that illness. It's also known to be great with what we call antioxidants, and antioxidants are proven to be good for health, and they're actually being looked at for Alzheimer's as well.
I know in the days when flying fish was plentiful,
Yeah.
and your mom come home with a set of flying fish, that was all the seasoning that she used to use.
Yes.
Crush this, put it between the fish, and steam it. That's all. So people say that cuts cement speed and
Okay, I can explain that one for you. So, broadleaf thyme for you is more of a culinary herb.
yeah.
You don't know of it being used for colds and flu?
Not really.
Not really.
Not
Okay.
really.
But I can add that it's good for regulation of high blood pressure, in that it lowers your blood pressure. And this is why they claim that, as they call it cuts the speed of the meal. But what it's really doing is lowering the blood pressure below a level that it should not be.
Okay.
Yeah. But broadleaf thyme has actually been looked at within what we call alternative medicine as a potential source of relief from symptoms of COVID-19, because it has in, again, a combination of those so-called antioxidants, which work well to relieve some of those symptoms. And as I'm talking about COVID-19, did you have any persons coming to you looking for herbs to help them?
Yes.
Yes? So could you share that with us? Yes.
This is gully root,
Gully root.
right?
Yes.
This is actually gully root. And
Beautiful.
when people were actually coming down with the cold
Yes.
associated with COVID,
Yes.
they were coming to buy this along with the tisane that you have further up.
Yeah.
They were coming for valley root, tisane, lemongrass, um, sage,
Sage,
mint,
mint,
right? Or ginger,
ginger,
turmeric.
turmeric.
Um, those were the herbs that they were looking for, especially locally grown ginger.
Yes, when I came into the market and I saw the diversity in your presentation, I really was happy to see it because, from my perspective, I'm working for us to maintain this diversity, both in terms of the plants we grow and the traditional knowledge. And I'm happy to see that you have taken it from your mother. So thank you so much. Here we have another example of the tradition of using plants for culinary uses as well as healthcare being carried on by a young entrepreneur. I was very happy to meet Randall, and we're going to look at a few of the plants he has in this beautiful display.
All right, so we are here at Plant Life Caribbean Plant Based Deliciousness with Allison Burnham. Hello, Allison.
Hello, thank you for coming.
So we want to have a brief talk about your journey with plant-based food, and I love that you said it's Caribbean plant-based deliciousness because when people think vegan, they think over there. But you know, we've been doing vegan from time.
For forever, A lot of our food is actually plant-based, but we add, the pig's feet, we add the chicken, we add the pork, but a lot of our stuff starts out plant-based. So the idea of plant-based and Caribbean food is actually very heavily intertwined.
So can you take us briefly on your journey, why you ended up not just eating the plant-based food, but making it for people?
Well, I started out, I've always been interested in plant-based food, and also I'm actually a chef. I started out when I came to Barbados just looking for plant-based food for myself, but still like going places and I couldn't find anything that I really liked. So I started making salads and people kept on asking me to make salads for them. And then from there, people started asking me to make desserts.
Let's talk about the dessert because I'm like, people started asking you to make desserts.
Right.
So these are plant-based
These
desserts?
are all plant-based desserts. We do vegan desserts, and everything started out with doing these vegan desserts. And then from there, I had the idea of doing a vegan fast food concept. And that's how the Plant Life, it kind of evolved into what it is now. Yeah.
What is your philosophy then with food and wellness? Not illness, wellness.
So, okay, it's people always say vegan food is healthy food, right? But it's very possible to eat vegan and still be unhealthy, right? Oreo cookies are vegan, but you're not gonna have a diet of Oreo cookies, right? So it's not just about it being vegan, it's about eating whole food, right? And so that's what our menu is based on. We like to use a lot of whole grains. We like to use actual fruits and vegetables. I shop in the market to get my food. So my sweet potato fries are made from real sweet potato that I cut up and fry. The salads are made from salads that are locally grown, from lettuce that's locally grown. Everything is local, which is also how we're able to keep the price down because people have this idea that vegan food is super expensive. And because we're doing a lot of local fruits and vegetables, we're able to keep the price at a reasonable rate. When you eat from Plant Life, you're not going to be hungry in an hour because everything is whole grain, whole foods, but put together in a modern, contemporary way.
Thank you so much, Allison. We look forward to especially the vegan bacon.
Yeah, made from chickpeas.
Okay. Thank you for joining us here in a mother system of Barbados. We're in a gully. This is Wetchmahal Gully. As we continue in our series on plants and herbs of Barbados, we're going to have a conversation down in the gully with the author of this book, Wild Plants of Barbados. Who better to talk about them in a wild space than Professor Sean Carrington? Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So can you tell us a bit about your specialty and the type of work you've been doing, how long you've been doing it, and what attracted you, well, to the plants and the wild plants of this country?
Okay. So basically, I did a undergraduate degree in botany, and I then realized I didn't really know the plants in Barbados because I'd studied in Edinburgh. So as soon as I came back, I then immersed myself trying to work out what was what. And it's been a long process. And teaching at KPhil at the University of West Indies, I have students every year going out collecting plants and bringing them in and trying to identify them. So that's been kind of building up my knowledge. And as people came to the island too, I learned from them. And my research is really focused in latter years now on the plants that are unique to the Lesser Antilles, so the Eastern Caribbean. So over the last few years, I've actually been doing a study where I've been trying to work out which plants are endangered and which are not. And rather than going through every island in the Caribbean, I've been basically looking at plants that have been collected. So the idea is that if in a museum, in a herbarium, you have very few specimens of this plant, maybe in the wild, it's also very rare. So we've started with that, and it's been very useful. We reckon now that of the 263 flowering plants that are unique to the Lesser Antilles, like 2/3 of them are endangered, to varying degrees, from critically endangered through endangered to vulnerable. So that's work I was doing with some colleagues at the Smithsonian in Washington, and that's at the moment what I'm really interested in now, because you really realize, you want to make a contribution to your part of the world.
Right.
And while I was doing a lot of work before on things like fruit ripening and things like that, there are people working on fruit ripening all over the world. Whereas the plants of the Caribbean, there's less work being done on those.
And one of the things I noticed, I know the book was done a while ago, but one of the things we noticed about the book is that you don't just identify them and kind of, you also go and do some history and some oral history and talk about the uses, not just food and medicinal, but also utilitarian. And so if those things are critically endangered or endangered in general, we lose ways of knowing. We lose understanding how we can use non-mass manufactured things in the natural environment. Around this space, you identified so many plants that weren't just for eating or drinking or using as medicine, that were used for other things.
Yeah.
So can you give us a bit more about not just identifying the plants to know what's endangered, but that they might be useful eventually or currently?
Oh, for sure. So as we walk around, we can look at that and give you examples. But I mean, there are plants that are used for basketry. There are plants obviously used for medicines. There are plants that are used just for like tool handles and building materials. There were plants that children use, for girls for skipping ropes, like scratch whisks. So I mean, everything under the sun, people were using the plants around them. The trouble is that as we have become more sophisticated in our quest for, entertainment and things like that, we've spent less time kind of communing with nature and using the plants in that way. So, as we go from the older generations to the younger generation, you find that people are less and less familiar with those uses. And certainly even the names of plants. I mean, one thing that struck me when I've been at university for some time now, when I first came back, was that a lot of students didn't even know a mahogany tree, which I think is a very common tree. You'd be amazed the number of people who cannot recognize a mahogany tree or a whitewood tree or things that, you think everybody would know because it's so common in Barbados.
And so you're contributing to that education of transferring that knowledge.
Yeah.
Is there anything, before we walk and start identifying plants, is there anything unique to gully, to the types of plants that grow in gully systems? Or is it in Barbados, they'll just grow wherever?
Essentially, the plants growing in the gullies are largely plants which would be in a moist forest. Okay. So a lot of the Caribbean islands may not have gullies because they're not necessarily limestone based like how we are, but they would have the same kind of environment which creates this kind of moist forest community. And because the gully is like a cleft, in the ground, it creates you can imagine a humid microenvironment.
Right.
So in other words, what is growing up there in the hot sun, swept by the wind, is different to what is in the sheltered gully where the water's collected, the humidity is high. So,
So this is our own little microclimate.
this is a
here.
microclimate. And in fact, the gully probably gives us a good idea of what was originally the forest that covered Barbados. Because you probably know that, within 50 years of Europeans colonizing Barbados, they cut down all the forests, they had to import firewood. So this island was once completely, forested, a bit like this. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, drier towards the coast, but nonetheless, these are what we find in the gully is essentially native plants.
Excellent.
3/4 of the plants are native. Now, obviously, Welsh Mall is a little different because it was planted up with exotics at one end. Although the bit we're in now is a relatively natural bit which has native plants in it.
So let's go walking through the gully then.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Let's check out this papagun tree.
And you say it's a papagun tree.
Yeah. This is a tree that's common in gullies. It actually likes a place where there's been an opening. So it's a sign that often where something has fallen. But it only germinates in an open spot. Florists would be familiar with it because the people are quite into dried arrangements using the leaves. But medicinally, this plant is useful because it's being used to treat like diabetes, high blood pressure.
The leaves, the bark, the root, which part?
I think the leaves. I'm not an expert on medicinal uses, but the scientific name is Cecropia peltata. There's been some controversy, but that's the name that people are using now. And basically, also the Amerindians apparently used the trunk as some kind of what should I call it? For the catamarans, the kind of outer hull. Yeah, the outer hull.
So is it floats really well then? Is it hollow?
It is, and often has ants in it. And I think in other islands they call it bois cano.
Oh, canoe.
Maybe.
Very good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know what happens.
And then behind us, we have something else of interest. This shrub with these little spikes is Piper dilatatum. And this is a pepper family, not the pepper like bonnie pepper and
like black
fleshy
pepper.
pepper. This is the black pepper family. So black pepper, you will actually get little fruit on this spike, a different species, obviously. But this is a wild one, a wild Piper dilatatum. And apparently, again, this has some medicinal uses too. You apply the leaves for sprains, I think, or some particular use like that. You don't actually drink it.
Okay.
This shrub that we have here is a member of the coffee family. It's called St. John's bush. The scientific name is Psychotria nervosa. And it's used in a bush tea, the leaves for, as far as I recall, like colds and fever, with other plants as well, but it's a major component of that. But in gullies, it's a typical shrub again, below the trees, and it would have a red berry, when it's ripe. The flowers here aren't open yet, so it's not at its best, but St. John's bush.
Okay.
Right. So the two plants on either side of you look very similar, but they're actually quite different. And maybe if you close your eyes and have a deep sniff.
I can smell it.
What is it?
Yes.
Tell me.
That's bay leaf.
Yeah, this is bay leaf. So
Sweet.
Pimenta rasmosa, bay leaf, a native small tree. And in fact, it's been cultivated. Two people have selected different forms. You have ones that smell differently, used in different ways.
Okay.
And also, you probably know that it was used to make something called bay rum, where you would soak the leaves in or distill them, I think, in rum, and then you apply this into your head and cool you down and all that. So this is probably around when the Amerindians were here before us. And certainly this one, this looks like a mammy apple. And again, that's one of the fruits that probably was brought here by the Amerindians. Other things were brought afterwards that we are familiar with. But this one has been here a long time. Mammia americana.
Okay.
So these are relatively small. This gets a lot bigger. Mammy apple tree is huge.
And bay leaf trees can be extremely tall.
But at least they're within reaching and smelling distance.
Yes.
Okay, so I spotted something back here, and I want to show you that too.
We're gonna pass by our old friend, the dog dumpling Noni.
Morinda citrifolia.
Yes.
Not from our part of the world, but anyway, popular medicinal plant in Barbados. But the one I want to show you is this very unspectacular shrub. So this plant is one of the two species of flowering plants that is unique to Barbados. So we have maybe like 700 flowering plants that are native to our part of the world, to Barbados, sorry. But in other words, nobody brought here. They were here, got here in their own steam. And this is one of the two which is found nowhere else in the world. So it evolved here all on its own. So this, its name is Phyllanthus andersonii, and Anderson was is named after someone who was in charge of the botanic garden in St. Vincent back in the 1700s, who went and studied a lot of plants in the Caribbean. As I said, it's found nowhere else in the world. It's one of our unique species. We have another one, which is a vine, which is very difficult to actually to find and possibly endangered. But this one is quite common. It's in a lot of gullies. And I don't know if anybody still use. Some people use the name broom for it as a common name. So maybe they use it as some kind of yard broom, people. But its claim to fame is its uniqueness. It's the only truly, well, one of two unique Barbadian plants. All right, so what I brought you here to show you was this tree called rock balsam or gully balsam. You got to be careful because there's also a little herb called rock balsam. Okay. So, but this is Clusia plucanetii, and it grows along the edges of the gully. It likes to be right on the gully rim, and then it sends down these roots, and that's really what I want to talk about because the roots have been used in basketry, really high-end baskets in Barbados. So people would come along, they would cut the hanging roots, scrape them, and then plait them to really make top-of-the-line baskets.
Okay.
So every few years, do it in a sustainable way. You obviously can't just kill the tree by cutting all the roots. So you take some roots, and then a few years later, you come back and harvest some more. Okay, so these are the hanging roots I was talking about. You can see them better in this part here.
All back here.
Yeah, all back here. So basically, the person would come along, cut them off from up there.
Sturdy.
And then, yeah, they're pretty sturdy. And then scrape them, and then plait them to make the basket.
All right.
Okay? So maybe that's a future career.
Who knows?
Hey guys, what's up? Thank you guys for coming through. Tonight was another night where we also learn about different hubs. We also learn about right now we're doing hubs in Barbados. We following this channel NFC Barbados, and we're basically doing a series of hubs. So basically we're showing videos from that channel. Shout out to NFC Barbados for this video. Very interesting video. So much to learn from, and I got to say shout out to Barbados for maintaining that culture of learning about herbs, about growing different herbs. I mean, these things is important because many people, as far as we see, the generation that comes up in the 80s, 90s, and 90s, they don't know too much about the herbs. You know what I'm saying? The older people have the knowledge. So now some people travel abroad and they don't know. Even sometimes even they see the herbs where they are, they don't know. So by them able to show you and mention the names and also the benefit, it is a blessing. It's really a blessing. But like I will say, this is a disclaimer. This video is only for information purpose. Before using any herbs and that you see in this video or on this channel, please make sure you confront your doctor before doing that. All right? It's only for information purpose. All right? So it's a blessing to able to learn about different herbs, and you guys can check out the channel because I have a couple videos about herbs. So you guys could check it out. You also could check out at NFC Barbados and you could learn a lot from them. They have the culture going, man. So I want to look around. I want to check out other islands and see if they have anything available about their culture, so we could also share that. Because as you see, it's about Caribbean culture and lifestyle. We try to highlight these small islands that no one heard about. Barbados is an island I know everybody maybe know about, but the thing is why I'm highlighting Barbados like this is because of the medicine practice. You know, I always remember people used to travel from different islands to go to Barbados to like do maybe surgery and different things. So it showed me that Barbados practice. They've been doing this for a long time and they're doing it on a higher level. And now I'm noticing the videos and the hubs and how they into the hubs, their culture is deep into hubs. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's really a good thing. So I just got to say shout out to Barbados for this video, because it's a very interesting video. You learn about the local herbs. You learn about the rosemary. We learn about the rosemary and the benefit of the rosemary. We learn about so much sage. We learn about so much different plants in this video. So if you didn't see the whole video, you could always go back. Yes, live from scratch, very informative. Yes, yes, and this is what's important. These information we take in for granted study, we need to look into them, because we need to pay attention, because in a few years from now, I'm gonna tell you this, in a few years from now, we mightn't be getting these information. These information, you might be able to look them up. You might be able to find these information. So all I'm saying, man, well, for me, I'm looking into these herbs. And the thing about it is, sometimes we have so much of these herbs in our backyard and we don't even know. Is actually herbs that you could make tea. You know, like I have a big flowers tree growing in my yard. Is a camellia. Let me see let me see the name of the plant. Let me call out the name of the plant. Maybe you could check out the plant. But this plant give you could make tea from the leaf. You could make, let me show you the leaf of the plant. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me see if I can show you the leaf. I have it in a paper bag. I'm basically drying them right at this moment. These leaf, you see these leaf? This is from a plant named Camellia japanocchio. Let me see if I can get the name, because I want. I do it the floor. It's camellia, all right? It also comes with the flowers. It also comes with a beautiful flowers. It also comes with a beautiful flowers, and you wouldn't believe how much you could do with these plants. These, I can use these leaves and I can make green tea. I also could use them and make black tea from these leaves. The flowers, and it also have the seed. So basically, you have this plant growing in your yard and you might even know the benefit. No, the seed have a rich oil inside of it, very rich oil. And you also could use the flowers and extract oil from it. How you could extract from it? You could use honey and extract. You could use grapeseed oil. You could use avocado oil. These type of oil, and you could put them for soak inside of it for a few months. And what they're gonna do is gonna extract all the benefit from the plant. No, you could use it and it cover your skin. You know what I mean? It's good for skin. The Japanese and Chinese really love this plant. Listen to me, it's a very important plant. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Yes, guys. So this one plant, camellia, right? Camellia. This one plant, you could get two different type of teas from it. Two different type of teas. You could get the black tea. You could get the green tea. You also, you know what? I'm gonna put the. Let me put the link of this video, this in this chat, so you guys can always check it out. So right, so this is a leaf that you could make black tea, you could make green tea. You also could make oil from the seed. You also could make oil from the flowers. Very interesting. Let me show you. Give me 1 second. Let me find a video that can give us a more in kerosene, more in depth of what I'm talking about. Okay, 1 second, guys. All right, this is the leaf from the plant I'm talking about. And what I'm doing now, I'm picking the beautiful flowers. I already picked the limbs them from the tree. Now I'm picking off the beautiful flowers. So just watch what I'm gonna be using this and do, and how I'm gonna dry it. You're gonna give me just watch the video, guys. Really, so the leaf, you could use the leaf, you could also use the flowers. That's the flowers right there. All right, that's the flowers right there. You see how it looking beautiful, nice, fresh, and beautiful. All right, guys. So all right, this is when it dry. After finish drying, right now you can make sure it dry, nice and crisp. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna make some oil. So I already start adding some to this bottle. What I'm gonna be using is grapeseed oil. So I'm gonna add the grapeseed oil into the jar and allow it and just leave it for a few months. What this gonna do is gonna extract all the benefit from the camelo plant. And what we're gonna do now, this oil that's gonna be creating here, we could use this oil for our skin, our hair, and a massage oil. You know what I'm saying? And we could also receive the benefit. Some people prefer to take it internally, which is in the form of tea. And I'm gonna also leave some for tea as well. So at the end of the day, all right, so as you see, so now I'm gonna add more oil because you wanna make sure the oil is on top of everything. Okay, the oil gotta cover the oil. You see, so this is right, this is cool right there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave this in this jar for about maybe 5, 6 months and just leave it, cover it tight and just leave it in a nice warm area. And this gonna extract itself into the oil. Then I'm gonna have nice, fresh, beautiful oil for my body, for my hair. This is it right here, guys. This is it. So I'm making my own oil. Now, what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna use this for tea. All right. So thank you guys as always. Listen, me guys, do your research before proceeding. All right. We also have the leaf, which we also gonna use the leaf as well. We're gonna ruffle up the leaf, ruffle them up, squeeze them up, and put them to dry. And this also you can get green tea from it, and you could also get white tea from it. So this is an excited plant, the Kamala. Guys, I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm going to be making oil. I'm going to be making more tea. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Yes, the name of this plant is Camellia japonica. Camellia japonica. I mean, you could study this, do your own research on this plant. Who knows? It look like a rose. Yes, it's beautiful and it's very powerful. It's very strong and poking. So you could have, you never know, man. Sometimes you have these plants right in your yard. There's evergreen, there's cold hardy, so they could take any type of cold weather. But at the same time, the plant, you could actually use so much of the plant. You could use the leaf, which the dry leaf. You could use the leaf. You could use the beautiful flowers. Hey, the mood, what's up, man? You could use the beautiful flowers. Yes, the beautiful flowers. And you could also use the seed. So you could get seed from oil from the seed. You could get oil from the petal of the flowers, which is easy to extract from. All you got to do, put it down in whatever honey. I have 4 of those bags. Are you serious? Well, all right, Dibud. Dibud, you see, this is what I'm talking about. If you have time, I could drop the link and let you talk about it because it's good to know. So let me ask you, Dimu, did you know the benefit of the plant? Did you know you have 4 of them? But did you know the benefit of these plants? Well, brother, if you have these plants, you don't know what you have. You have something wonderful there. You didn't know? Oh, wow. You see what, man, you see what I'm saying? I'm going to drop the link, the mood. If you feel like coming up, if you feel like come up for a few and just talk about it, you can, all right? No pressure if you feel like. But what I'm saying is, this brother have 4 of these plants in his yard as beautiful flowers because they do produce some beautiful flowers. I could tell you that. But guess what? He didn't know. He have a red one. Yep, it have different colors. So yes, you're right. You're right. It have different colors in flowers. Yes, you're right. Well, Star, do some research on it. I want you to do your own research on it to find out what it's about before you apply it. All right? Eddie Moon, what's up, man?
Hey, Planter, what's going on, my brother?
Man, I'm here. I'm here. What's going on?
Man,
Wow.
I was just in here, sitting here drinking some pumpkin soup.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I harvested some pumpkins last week,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I took them pictures, and I think I posted them up on the line. But earlier today, I went ahead and peeled one up, man, and I took half, put it in the freezer, and the other half I put it in the pot. Man, this thing is so buttery and creamy.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
Oh, man. And you know the best part of it?
Uh-huh.
You grow it.
Yes. The best part. But no, I just come on your live. I saw you talking about the Japonica.
Right.
It's so ironic. Let me go out here. And you probably can't see it. You know what it was, right? And Fifi saw it. And Fifi said, "Do you know what you have?" I was like, "No." He said, "That's a camellia." So Fifi was the got it. I'm gonna pick one and bring it inside. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. Let me go and do this. Camera. Let me.
Yes, you see, this is what I'm saying. And this is why this information is so important because we have the plants them growing, but we don't know their benefit. The brother have 4 of them and didn't know what he have growing in his yard. You see what I'm saying? By me doing this live, and I talk about it last night too on my other channel about this plant. So you see what I'm saying? So now by this type of information we coming together and have this conversation. We all could learn from each other. You see, so now he have 4 of them. Now he realized he have plants that he could actually make his own oil. He could make his own tea. But guys, I always put in the disclaimer of before using any, this is only information purpose. You got to do your own research. We could only mention the name of the plant and what we know about it. But your job is to do your research. And if you figure it might be something for you, then you could speak to your doctor because I will always say sometimes something might work for this person and it didn't work for you, you know? Yes.
Yeah, my apologize about that. I hit the wrong button, but hold
No,
on a minute. We
no.
gotta fix it. All right, I'm ready now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out there. You know, me have my trusty scissors.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna go out there and harvest it. This
I
is
say,
the
man.
that's the white. So I have these, and I have a pink one and a red one. The red one is the biggest one. But
Mm.
see, you got more bud. You see the bud open up the flower.
Yes.
But like the question you asked me earlier, I didn't know what this was. As far as I know, only flower that bloom in the winter time.
Oh, wow.
I kept seeing it, and I was doing something one day. I was making a video. I made a video. Fifi called me and she said, "Hey, you got something in your yard. I'm not sure. Can you put it on WhatsApp so I can see it?" So I went and put it on WhatsApp. She said, "You know what that is?" I said, "No, it's a flower." He said, "You got a japonica." I said,
Yeah.
"What is it?" She said, "You need to go research it. It's a good plant to have." I
Yeah.
got, I got three. I got four of them total. The biggest one is the red one.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the funny thing about it is, Planta, when I bought this property, it was huge, and I had some guy come in and cut it down because in
Um,
my mind it was blocking my vision. I need to get rid of this. So I cut it down.
right.
Not,
Right.
not what it is, but what I start doing on my property now is I'm just letting stuff grow out to maturity. And when it grow out to maturity, that's when I realize what I be having. I be like, I didn't know I had this, and I didn't know I had that.
Right.
And then, thank God for people like Fifi who would see stuff and would say to me, "Hey, do you know what you have?" And I'd be like, "No."
Wow.
So that's the story. But now I see you have and you talking about it, and I'm like, so I'm gonna be listening. I'm gonna go back and listen to you from the beginning because I didn't do as much research. I just like looking at the beauty of it. So
Well,
I didn't know there was a medicinal thing to it and whatever.
yeah, watch. This is a leaf, a dry leaf I have here.
Right.
This is for me to make green tea or black tea. Well, I'm drying this to make black tea. And you could also make green tea from it.
Is it good for?
Huh?
What is it good for?
Well, do some research. It has
Okay.
so much benefit. I want you to do your own research.
Yeah,
Because with research, this plant, there is so much thing it fight. According to research, it help fight cancer, diabetes, many different things. And then the oil from the seed, and the oil from the flowers also loaded with benefit. So you could take it internal and
right.
take it external, like on your skin. It good for your hair, it good for your skin. So you have some beautiful plant this star. Do your research at that and you'll see for yourself.
The funny thing is, every time I go around the property, I find something new. Listen, I've been living at this property now going on 17 years, right?
Right.
And every time I go around, I find something that I did not know was there.
I listen to me, I understand. I understand because now I'm finding a lot of things now because now I'm getting into research now. When I say research, like studying plants.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I have a book where I walk around and try to identify the plants as well. So
Right.
by me doing that, I'm learning so much about different plants. Even the same plant, I find some small one down inside the bushes because like the seed fell and the water wash them down and now they're actually growing in the bushes. So you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you gotta when you see a plant, just remember all these plants have their purpose.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
see
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? So we trying to cut down everything. No, let them grow and you will see what you have.
Listen, I had a plant beside the side of my house, right? When I bought this property. And 2007, 2000, yeah, 2007.
Mhm.
And every time I would close my garage door on the side, my side door for my garage, every time I would close the door, it would get caught in the damn. So me being a non knowing what this thing is,
Mhm.
I cut it down. It was a tree. I cut it down, right?
Oh
And not
wow.
only did I cut it down, I wanted to get rid of it because it was bothering me. Because I figured it's gonna regrow back and it's gonna keep getting caught in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Right after I cut it down, a year later, I found out it was a rosemary. The
Are you
herb, the
serious?
rosemary herb, the
What?
herb I got so big it was a tree.
Wow. I would have loved to see that. For
It
real.
was it was huge. So I literally I went around the property on a cutting spree. I cut down the rosemary tree. I cut down a azalea tree. I cut
Wow.
down the japonica tree. But thank God for having a little bit of foresight and saying, well, you know what? Let me really see what I have on this property, and maybe I will find something that I don't. And I just started letting things grow out.
Mm.
Things grow out. And I have an app on my phone. I start taking pictures. I start realizing what different things were. That's how I started finding out.
Right.
And also because I to and believe it or not, in our video, well, you got a background, but in my videos, when I do my videos, people see in the background in my yard, and they be like, "Hey, did you know you have such and such?" And I'd be like, "Uh-uh." And then that leads me to go do some research on it, and that's what the same way I found out I had passion fruit. Fifi saw passion fruit. I didn't even know what it was.
Right.
You be surprised that if you in a community like we're in, you got people that can point things out for you and make you look a little smarter sometimes.
But you know what, the mood?
Out for you and
Look what going on, right? You know the community that we in, the garden community, and on my other channel over there, that's we in.
right.
I don't think them understand the power of a garden community. You check on that? I don't think people
Yeah.
understand the power of a
Mhm.
garden community. A garden community is a powerhouse where people come together and actually learn from each other.
Mhm.
Just like how you say you doing a video, somebody seeing your background, and they realize you have exactly. You realize you have a herb in your background, and they could tell you. I mean,
Yeah.
this is how we know. No, you have four of these plants, and you didn't even know
Yeah.
the,
I mean,
the
and
amount of stuff you could do from there.
this one is the white one. The edges are got a little bit of pink on it, but the other one is completely pink.
Right,
Let me see. I got two white, one pink, and one red.
red. Okay.
If it was daytime, I would show you the red. The red is huge. You know what I'm going to do? I'm
Mm,
going to do a video because it's funny because the white one is it has flowers going. But the
mm.
big one, the flowers haven't burst open yet.
Oh,
But the three small ones, and then what I do because I try to keep them, see the petals falling out all around my front yard. I got petals everywhere.
yeah,
Where
they
they
fall. Yes, they fall underground a lot, right? Under my tree is full because my tree is huge.
Yep.
Under my tree is just all you seeing underneath is petals. So
And
what I'm
then
doing?
and then they got these little seeds, and the squirrel love them. I
Well,
be having squirrels all around them trees.
when you see them seed have a rich, rich oil inside of them.
Mm,
You cold press it,
right.
and the oil that have some rich, rich oil inside of them. Powerful poking oil.
Okay.
Yes. And you see the plant, you see them flowers. If you smell the flowers have a strong scent. You
Yeah.
this very strong scent.
I don't know what to send to. Hey Sheila, come here for a minute, please. I'm gonna see what my wife says smell like. Cause
Okay, it's a strong scent.
what does it smell like to you, babe?
Come on, camera.
No.
What, the flower?
Yeah. I don't know what it smell like. She don't know either. But you're right. It has a potent smell.
Yes, yes. You see when they put what? You see you put that in some because I've been using this oil for a while, you know what I'm saying? You see if you
Uh-huh.
put this in some grape seed oil,
Hmm.
You put them flowers in, dry them. You got to dry them.
Right.
Put them in some grapeseed oil, leave them for a few months. And listen, that's your oil for your body. I mean, we just ignore the real thing and go look for all
Yeah.
this extra stuff.
My wife says it smell like lavender.
Yes, it have a kind of a strongest scent, man. This thing is, and when you put it in the oil, it's so strong that
Yeah.
you will be smelling that instead of the oil.
And what is it called again? Japonica?
Yes, Camellia japonica. Yes,
Camellia japonica.
do some research on that, man. That plant in Japan and China, they love that plant.
Yeah, I saw that. When I did look it up a little bit, I did see that, but I didn't really do a deep dive like I should have.
Well, you should because you are four of them.
Yeah, because they said the ones that I have in front, they said those are the dwarfs. Those are the white and the pink one, and the one that I have in the back, that's the big.
Okay.
But yeah, like what I do is because to me, I treat it like an edge, so I always cut. I don't grow but so much. But this year, because I decided I was gonna let stuff grow out to their maximum potential, they are huge.
Yes.
And it is just covered in flowers. So
Yeah,
now that I know the flowers are good, I'm going to save them so I can dry them.
you know what I just do? I just spread a top. I just spread a top under the tree, and all the petals that
fall on it. Yeah.
They just fall on it, and I just collect them because it's a real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, it's amazing. And it's natural. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Natural stuff you're talking about.
Man, I got this thing on this stupid thing. You ever know when you got stuff on your computer that's for your protection that you be forgetting that it's on there, so it just blocks up everything?
Yes.
I have all these damn security devices that I put on here to stop people from hacking in and doing dumb stuff on my computer now.
Yeah, well, you know that needed, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on here now. Japonica. Okay. I'm gonna definitely do the research on it because I should have when Fifi told me go do the because she obviously saw the potential of it, so she told me go do the research.
Yeah, I did a live on it last night. I was talking about it last night.
Go back on the other channel.
Yes. Down to
I'm definitely
talking about it last night.
Okay.
You know, and yeah, I made my oil. I've been using this for a while now. I made my own oil for my skin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, yeah. Listen to me. It's so simple how we could just make our own oil, our own little low. You know what I mean? You know, we go and buy oil for our skin. You know, these things.
This property that I brought, the lady that me and my wife bought it from, her husband worked for NASA and she was a horticulturist. So she grew all different types of plants. So that's why when I go on the property, I be finding all kind of stuff. Because I'm reading now and it's saying it is native of China, Korea, and Japan. It's not even native to America.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the good thing is cold hardy.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is cool, and it's evergreen.
Yes.
It's always green, so you could always get fresh tea, fresh leaf from it.
Yeah.
For make your tea. It's a pretty interesting plant. Pretty interesting.
Yeah. They said the best way to look at it is the leaves are 2 to 3 inches and it's glossy, leathery like this one.
Yep.
Nice and glossy.
Yes. Shine. The leaf is shine. Yeah.
Okay. And so you have two types. You have a midget and you have a giant. So I have both. I have the midgets and I have a giant. And
I have the giant because mine, I could climb mine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I with mine, and that's what I do spread the tarp underneath, climb up inside, and while I'm picking, some of them just be dropping.
Right.
So the tarp just, then I go down and I pick up the rest.
Yeah, and it says here that the flowers for the giant doubles. The amount of flowers doubles on the giant versus the dwarf. But
Yeah.
the flowers come in winter, early spring, early winter, around February, April is the best bloom. Hell,
Oh,
mine is already blooming now.
mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. I guess it's the weather. I guess it's
Mhm.
the weather and what's going on. But mine too, full of flowers right now.
Yeah.
I
But
know.
about 3 years ago, it was going through a disease, and I'm looking on it can go fungal disease. It had that where the branches were rotting. But what I did was I just really liked the flowers. So what I did, I went through and I cut all the branches down and had it regrow. And it
Oh,
came back stronger.
longer. Yes, 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 yes. Mine is so huge. I was thinking about cutting off the top and
Mm-hmm.
just, and let it regrow because it's like it's getting taller and taller.
Right. And these people up here, when they put information about it, they only doing it for not telling you what it's good for. You,
So,
you got to really dig. You got to read the
well, you
information.
see, but this is the thing, the mood, and this is what I'm telling people. Very soon, you wouldn't be able to get information. You see what I'm saying? The real information, you're not getting it. So now, you're not getting the in depths, the
Mhm.
scientific details of the plant because they're not giving you that no more. So you might just get few little, oh, well, you could use it for this, but you not get the depth of it. Because people that want you for know the depth of it.
Yeah.
You
But
see?
I was looking at one of your videos. You were showing your pumpkin, right?
Hmm.
And I was seeing all of your cold damage, and I have the same thing. But the good thing, the cold damage, and the leaves all shriveled up, whatever. But what happened with the leaves all shriveled up? I'm finding all these didn't know what's there because now the leaves ain't hiding it no more. So I got pumpkin. I still got pumpkins on the ground. You know why? Because when I checked the vine was still healthy. The leaves are dead, but the vine, the root down in the ground.
That's it. Because with mine, some of them is is um is dry, but then it still have green ones. So that's when I say, okay, good. If there's green one, I mean the root is still good. Is the root
Yeah.
is still alive?
I'm very fortunate. I'm looking at this, and they said the Camellia japonica only comes in three colors: red, white, and pink. And the funny thing is, I got all three
You got
colors.
the tree,
Yeah,
right, right, right.
that is so weird.
But there's some beautiful plants though. I
It
could
looks
see
like a rose. It is very beautiful. I
this.
mean, the Japanese love it. They got stamps, they got
Yeah,
books, they
yeah,
have festivals, all kind of stuff to
yeah.
it.
They used to use it as practice. They have certain spiritual practice with that, with this plant. They love this plant.
Yeah,
They
and they
do.
use it for bonsai plant. They make it little midget plants.
Mm.
What I tell you, you just be surprised the stuff that you have, and and you talk about that all the time. You don't know there's things on your property, on your land that can feed you.
Yeah,
I understand that not everybody has land, and that's
right,
fine.
right.
But for some of us that do, just go around and look, you know.
It's right there, man. It's right there. I'm telling you.
Man,
It's
I tell you, my squirrels love me. What I did was I went up there and got all the black walnut that had fallen on the ground, and
mm.
I rubbed off the green skin and I left the nuts. Man, they just come in and grab it,
Oh wow.
just lead them to it. Now I have the deer come through because the deer eat the green part.
Oh.
So I just pile it up in my yard, man. If I was a hunting man, I wouldn't have to go far because they come the deer, some of the biggest, healthiest. I always say to myself, God is so good. because that deer live all by himself. He eat grass and shrub and berries, and look how big and healthy he is.
Right.
We just had one in the yard the other day. He looked like easily he was about 250, 300 pounds. And that was
Ooh.
the first time I've ever seen a buck in the middle of the day. And he had a full rack of horns. And he was just,
Wow.
I put four little things in my yard with water. Squirrels, so they leave my stuff alone. Because a lot of times they eat your berries and stuff, they're trying to get
Yeah.
liquid.
Yeah.
And the guess the deer got the message, guys, want water, come over to this yard. Man, every time I look up, the deer be over there drinking water.
Wow. That's
So
good.
yard is inviting to them, huh?
Well, once they're not eating on everything you have, that's good because some of them could really do some damage in
Be
your
pet.
yard. Yeah. But man, what I'm saying, man, if everybody, like what we have going on with the garden, like how all of us, so much people growing, so much people. If everybody had, man, listen to me, this thing is so powerful. I don't think people understand the power of what has created a garden community where we could learn from each other, learning about different herbs. You have trees in your yard and you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Food that you could get oil, so much stuff from in such an easy farm. You know what I mean? Taking care of your family with oil for their hair instead of you got to go and buy these oil, you don't know what's in them. You can actually make your own oil, your own tea from things that growing naturally.
And the thing about this plant, these plants is I don't give it no attention. I don't go water it. I
Don't need
don't do
nothing.
nothing. It
It
just
don't
takes care of
need
itself.
it don't need no attention.
The only thing I did years ago, because again, I was trying to get the front yard beautified. I mulched the front yard.
Mm.
So it has thick layers of mulch under it. So you have all that water that get when it do fall, it get trapped under there because it's inside that mulch. But
Right.
other than that, I do not go water it. I don't do none of that. It's
I,
just like my hibiscus. I have hibiscus that I grew. I don't water them. They do their thing. They come back every year by themselves, mind their business, and do their thing.
that's why I just tell people. I just tell people a lot of times. Because people believe you have to be watering plants and you got to be jungled in them with water. But
Mm.
sometimes, believe it or not, them plants doing pretty fine without you wetting them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I found out about growing pumpkin. I was watering my pumpkins like crazy, and I started doing some research. I started looking at some videos from some guys back in Jamaica, and they said, "Stop. If you're gonna water it one time a week. They're gonna go down, find their own water source with root. Just make sure the vine is laying on the ground. They
Hmm.
will go get their own water. Don't think because of the main root getting all this water. There's a whole bunch of little roots coming off the vines going down into the soil.
Exactly.
So yeah, and again, I say it all the time. It's a learning process. I have been doing this full time solid now for the last going into my 9 years, and I'm always learning something new. Like next year, God willing, if the weather is good and God put breath in my body, I'm trying to get a good start because last year the weather really, really had me off to a bad start. But even though that being the case, I had a bountiful harvest because my harvesting, I started really harvesting stuff in late August, September. I was just harvesting some stuff. I just did my ginger. Oh man, I gotta show off my ginger. Since I'm showing off, I gotta show you my ginger.
All right. All right.
And I'm constantly doing. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I just harvest my ginger.
Okay. You got pretty nice
So
harvest, man.
These are the original pieces that I use, and this is my harvest. This is all fresh ginger. But what I learned from doing my research, this part of the ginger is some of the most potent part.
Well, let me stop you right there. I did a video about that.
Mm-hmm.
I did a video about that part with the root. That's basically the root that feed the ginger and the plant.
Yes,
Because
and you
my
know
grandmother used to use that. My grandmother used to boil that. And ginger,
what?
I'm saying, what?
Listen, I've been growing ginger for a while, and every year I throw the ginger part away, right?
No,
I throw this part away. I throw this part away, the root part.
no.
And then when I really started doing my research, I'm like, wait a minute. They're selling me ginger root in the store, but what they're selling you is the rhizome, not the root. This part. This is the root.
That's it. That's
So,
it.
so when you go in the store thinking you buying ginger root, this is what they're actually selling you that's chopped up.
Yep.
This part is what rhizome. This part.
Yes, I did a video with that, man. Telling people you could the whole root, the whole ginger plant.
Because this is what I did. This is from what last when I harvest my ginger. I dry them and I store them. The moment I put water on them, they fluff right back up.
Right, right.
Same thing I do when I do my turmeric. I grow my own. I just dry it, use it. I have all of these herbs because you know you always talk about the herb challenge. I've been growing herbs for a minute, and I always save my herbs. Like this is the one I told. I know I talked to you about this. I used to grow my own moringa.
Yes.
I have these saved, even though it gives me hot flashes. It makes me sick. I don't know why, but for some reason I don't fool with it. But when I was doing it, I have powder. I have the powder type. And then I have this type where I have these are just the leaves that's not all the way powdered.
Right.
I throw it away because I don't know, maybe somebody in the family could use it because once you got it like that, it's there forever, right?
Yes, I agree, yes.
And then this is another one that I dry right here. I know you know what this is. Papaya seeds.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Oh
but
yes.
I also make my own papaya powder.
Okay.
So trust me when you don't hear me talking about when you don't hear me, this is the powder right here. When you don't hear me talking about, because what I do is I save these jars and I just fill these jars up.
Yes, makes sense. Makes sense.
Because when I hear you talking about the herb, I am totally supportive. That's why I tell you all the time. I said I support you. I might not do as far as planting them because I already have them going. I have a bunch of stuff going.
Right.
Do you know what this herb is here, planter?
Let me see.
Bizzy. Busy.
Hold on. It look familiar, but I'm not sure. Give me some.
Let me open it up so you can see.
Let me see. I can't call the name right now.
Well, we use Jamaica for diarrhea, whatever. You just make the tea and it dry up your stool.
Wait, hold on. What the name of it?
Busy.
Maybe I know it by a different name. You don't know it?
Yeah, you probably do, but that's the only name that my mother always say, go get some busy tea. So she always send that to me from Jamaica.
Oh.
But here we go with the you know what this is, right?
Bay leaf?
Yep, the bay leaf, man. I
like how your bay leaves growing, man.
Yeah,
I have two of them coming up right now.
Yeah, man, we got the whole tree. This is the one. Look, me harvest this one right here. This is a half a gallon worth full of bay leaf. Me harvest this back in September, and then me cut down those 4 branches because it's doing 2 things for me, right? I cut those branches down tree doesn't get that big because I have the tree in a pot because of my weather. I can't grow it outside.
Got you, got you.
So me keeping it short, I cut the tree down every November. I cut the branches down. I'm gonna go out here and show you something.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm not taking away from what you're trying to do
No,
tonight.
no. What you doing is what you doing is very because this is what the whole video is about. Herbs
Okay.
and
You
man,
see?
the rosemary.
Yes. Remember me tell you.
Herbs.
Remember me tell you. I used to have the tree. I grow another one, and look how thick these branches are.
Oh man, that's huge, the moon.
This is all rosemary, and it's out here in the natural. It's drying on its own.
And
Since I'm out here.
you know what? I love the way you drying it on its own.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
Look at you here. My wife over here drinking wine.
All right.
So this is the other herbs that I just did. This is oregano. This one right here is English thyme.
Okay, all right.
And then this one right, German thyme. But you notice I always put a leaf around. Whenever you having stuff dry, insect come. The bay leaf keep the insect away.
Okay.
And then this one right seeds.
Okay.
Because these malufa right here.
Oh, that's loofah.
Yeah. I stand them in there to dry. So I put them in and then they come like this. But I don't know if you're gonna hear this, but listen for this.
Oh, Shanti full of seed?
Full of them, man.
Oh man, wow.
Hey, you can make your own musical instrument.
Yeah.
Full of seed. And then here's my big pumpkin. This one right here now, 10 pound, you know.
Wait, hold on. That one you hold in there, I'm growing that one.
Okay.
I want to know hold the last. Yes, I have a lot of them to harvest. This one here. When I want, what is that one? Is that from Jamaica?
I don't know. This is growing name of this one. I know it's an Asian pumpkin, but I don't know the name of it.
Okay.
And then this one, you notice the difference, right? You see how tall this one is and look like a basketball?
Yeah.
And this one is more smaller and to the size, and it's greener.
Yes.
You have a little patch of yellow, but you hear it?
Yep, ready to go.
Nice and high. The stem is still getting nutrients from the stem.
Yes.
So what I do, I stick them in boxes with newspaper underneath for them to keep drying. Now look, I harvest sweet potato last year, and we still have sweet potato.
Oh, Sean, from last year?
From last year.
And they rooted, they pushing vines already again?
Already. All I do is when I grow them, right, I put them in a cold room, then a warm room so they get climatized.
Okay. Well, I know for sure. I follow what you know. I harvest my potato them yet. I follow what you did last year with the potato indoors. Started them indoors and
you talking about these?
Oh, Shams, yes.
I'm already starting them indoors already.
Yes. Wow. Debo, you doing your thing, man. You doing your thing for real.
My flashlight now. Okay. Since you bring this thing up to me now, and the weather a little bit cool, I'm gonna see if I can show you my Camellia japonica, the big one.
Okay, all right.
It's still a little cool.
Yeah, Virginia kind of chilly right now. The other day was cold as hell.
Okay, here go the big one. This is the red one.
Okay.
You see how the plant look on the leaf them? You see how they shining, they glossy?
Yes.
But look how big this thing is bigger than me. Look how big it gone.
Man, they grow real big, man. They grow tall.
Yeah. And remember I was showing you that this is my carrot. I put my carrot in a container, and look how pretty it is. They love
Yeah,
the weather, you know.
yeah, the weather nice, man. They love colder weather, man. They do better in colder
Yeah,
weather.
but may I watch out. Me don't want to step on no jet the snake, you know.
Okay, be careful, be careful.
Okay, so this right here is the rosemary that I cut,
Oh
right?
wow.
That look at the root. I have to cut it down so the root stays small.
So wait, hold on the mood, hold on. So this is a cold hardy then.
Yeah, it's called hardy. Stay year round.
Oh wow.
All listen. How I maintain it, all I do is I just cut it down, cut the branches down.
So then me
I
bringing in mine is not a good idea because
you doing what?
I have mine. I just dig up mine and bring it in every winter, every
No,
fall.
no, no, no. It's cold hardy. It love the cold.
Are you serious?
It will literally dry out. You just leave it alone. Come back. Now what you do is you just cut the tips off, the top portion off, so we can push out the branches more.
Wow. Well, you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Loaded
Garden community.
each other.
It goes back to what you were saying. Being in a garden community, you don't necessarily know everything, but you can learn from other people.
That's it. That's it. Wow, because I dig up mine every year, man. Every year I dig mine up in a container and bring it inside.
That's what I was telling you. When I moved here, I had a tree. It was brown, and I cut the tree down. And then what I did was I went and got a small branch. I went to Home Depot or Lowe's on one of them, and I bought a branch because every bit of my research said if you try to grow it from seed, it's going to take forever.
Right.
So I got a small branch. I put it in the ground, and what you see now, that's over 4 years of growth.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me show you the camellia. Let me show you the camellia before me come out of this thing here.
Okay, all right.
I see. You see all the flowers? This is the white one.
Oh, Shams. Okay, okay.
I'm talking about. Look at all the
petals on the ground, right?
Yeah, and then look, there's a seed right here. You see the seed?
Right. Well, you see that seed? Save them seed. Them seed has some rich oil inside them. We're loaded with benefits, so you should save them seed.
This is another one, but this one, the flowers ain't come out yet. You see them?
Okay, you have the thing, but the flowers ain't open. Yeah, because
right.
Yes, I see that one.
Yeah, this one is the pink one.
That's the one I have.
This one over here is white and pink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look at it. You see the two colors?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh,
and then
wow.
look on the ground, and then right up under the bottom there, it is full of seeds.
Don't throw away them seed, man. Save them seed, and if there's a way you could get them, you do some research on how to get the oil. They say cold press, but I guess they got to have a machine for do cold press. But
remember I was telling you about the virus I saw in it. This is I had to break off. But I'm gonna show you how resilient the plant was. The plant grew up around it.
Right.
To show you this during the daytime so you can really get a real look. This is just a snapshot that I'll show you real quick.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. But damn, man, you have listen me. Take care of them plant, man. That plant is good plant.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna put that research in now that you done, sometimes you need somebody to put a battery in your back, Sometimes when people tell you something is good and you're like, yeah. But when they really let you know, hey, you got something good, man.
Yeah, man. Good. Listen, me, I've been using this plant for a while, man. The oil and the leaf. Look, I'm showing you right here. I have my leaf in this bag. This is my leaf drying here. You understand?
Look at me. Full of fun. But yeah, I look at this seed. I mean, it's just a hard seed.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It's a hard seed. That's why I
Yeah,
think they say you got to cold press it. Yeah.
yeah, it's
You
a
know
hard
what I
thing.
mean? But it
Well, I'm
will.
gonna tell you what, the squirrel, they love it.
All right. So if
So
the small love it is have to be a reason.
it has to be a reason. And it's so
Right.
funny. And it's so
Right.
funny. Like right now, I have a bunch of them on there, and because they're not around in the front yard yet, but sooner or later they're gonna eat them all up, man.
Yeah, they will. They will. Because if they love them, they will come for them. And now is the time when they're storing food. So yes, they will
Yeah.
come for them.
But I did my test last year, right? This is when I did my hydroponics indoor.
Okay.
It,
Okay. Ah,
all I know is I can't do hydroponics with peppers. It won't go to fruit. But with stuff like kale and lettuce, it did really well.
okay, okay, okay.
I'm gonna show you something. If I can get it open. It just show you how this thing look at the roots.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and all they do is just reach down inside the water.
That's a lot of root right there.
Hmm. A whole bunch of root, man.
That's the pepper plant.
Yeah, that's the pepper plant.
That's a lot of root. So
That
how is not producing? Well, I
because
don't know,
I
maybe
didn't
the light.
because I didn't give it enough sunlight.
Mm. But you have it right against a window, so you the
Yeah, and I have the daylight light, but I wasn't turning it on. You see, I just turned it on.
oh
Yeah, because I kind of gave up on the process, and what I did was I took them from the hydroponics and stuck them in the ground.
okay, got you, got you,
But
got you.
for some reason, I still didn't really do well with peppers. As far as bell peppers, I maybe got about 3 or 4. But with the banana peppers, planted me out so much banana peppers, man. Sometimes wanting something and you get less, and then something else you get more of.
Yeah,
That's what happened this year. I have so much
yeah.
banana peppers, and you know what? It is just like, but in same, and I have an abundance of it. My freezer is full of it.
Man, listen me. You know what? This up to today, I was cutting up bell pepper. The amount of bell pepper, and I don't make a harvest through the frost coming
Mm,
through. The amount the bell pepper I harvest and cut up to the man is it's a lot.
yeah, I dropped that darn seed, and I don't know where I dropped it.
No man, them seed man, them seed rich man.
I'll find it. It's in the house, and if I don't find it, I got plenty out in the yard.
Yeah, I'm gonna try save. I never really save the seed, but I'm definitely gonna be trying to save as much as them seed this year as I can.
I know last year I tried to start new ones from cutting, but I couldn't get it to catch.
Oh, what about seed? I mean, the seed you might have to soak the seed.
Yeah.
You might have to soak it overnight, and maybe you should try the seed.
Hmm.
It's like soak it overnight, and it might take a while for germinate because of the hard shell. Or sometimes, like for instance, if I'm doing a mango seed, what I'll do, I'll open the outer shell of the mango seed and put the one inside in the soil so that germinate real fast. But if
Right.
you put the whole mango seed, it take a while because that got to find its way. The outer shell got to start to open up,
Right.
in order for that one to germinate. But if you bust open the shell, in no time it start pushing root. So
Hmm.
maybe that's where you might have to take something and tap the shell.
Right.
Just to see, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, man. But you give me something to play with, something to do the research over the what it is, because
Well,
I
right.
I have some tarp, so I'm gonna wrap the tarp around to catch the petals that are falling now.
definitely. And you could make your own oil, man. Your
And
own
if
oil.
if all else fails, all put the there on the ground now.
Yeah.
Because one thing I'm glad about my yard, I don't have chemical around.
So that's good right there. So you could always pick up your stuff, them and ain't gotta worry about that.
Yeah. And I know like my house, I need to get it washed, right? I need to have them come in and wash it. But I've been delaying it because I know they're gonna use chemicals to spray. They may say they don't, but you know they put something in here to wash the darn
Yeah,
vinyl.
forget half, yes, forget half your
So
vine.
you got to know in your head going in that okay, this is gonna be a year to get my soil to get adjusted after that water run off, because the water gonna run off into the soil.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, you know that. You know that. You
So
can't
what
avoid
I
that.
do, what I did the first time that I had that done, I did garden. I did it in 5 gallon buckets. That's all I did.
Oh, so you
And
give
then
it a careful,
yeah,
pure.
I want the soil to recover. I don't want, the whatever in the ground, the plant sucking up the chemical. But apparently it hasn't affected camellia because the camellia is along the house. It's right by the house. And,
Okay.
and I think it has helped it too because it's a wind blocker. So it may get cold and it's used to the cold, but it's not getting the direct wind blowing on it because and it gets a lot to get a sun. About
Okay.
12 o'clock till the sun go down. The sun is shining straight on it, so you get about 6 to 7 hours of solid sunlight.
Which is good. Which is good.
And then the big one, it gets sunlight all day. In the location that it is, all day. From the sun come up till the sun go down, it's getting sun.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and what happened was inside of that big one that I showed you, I found a vine in there because I was showing Fifi, and Fifi said, "Hey, look at that leaf," because she can tell things from the leaf. You know she good. She can tell stuff from the leaf. She said, "Look at that leaf." So I took
Right,
a picture
right.
of the leaf, and it came back, and I had a mulberry,
A mulberry.
just from her seeing the leaf. She said, "Go look and check that one out and see what it is." And when I looked at the bottom to find the root, what it was a mulberry tree that I had a big root base, and now the baby was trying to come back up.
Oh wow.
And because I'm letting everything grow out, that's how I noticed it. That's how she noticed it, and that's how I end up noticing
You see, let me tell you what has happened in early spring. Hey, my journey to success. How are you? Let me tell you where I used to do in the early spring, right?
it.
Like in the early spring when you getting ready to plant your food, so you start cleaning up. You start cleaning up
Right?
the garden. What I used to be doing, I used to be cutting off a lot of these things top. You know what I mean? And you don't know what they are because you're not seeing them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you cleaning up, you getting rid of them before you have honestly you have to allow these things to grow out.
Bro, yeah.
You'll be surprised. You know what I mean? Sometimes we want our garden to look clean and pretty, but leaving these things for grow out, sometimes you'll be surprised.
Yep.
You'll be surprised what you have growing there.
And believe me, I've been very, very surprised some of the stuff that I have found.
Yep. Like I find a grass the other day, right? I
Yeah.
find a grass the other day. And when I do my research on the grass, I could not believe the amount this thing have to offer. I couldn't believe and how powerful it is. And it grow
Mm.
a berry.
Oh, okay.
It grow a berry as well. What it call? It called dwarf. It was dwarf lily berry. The
Hmm.
plant named dwarf lily, and the berry of the plant is so rich. But me already. I rather my people to do their own research. You know, I say I want people to research and educate themselves.
Yeah, because you know what, when you do the work and you find out, then it makes you more interested.
Yeah, because I could, I'm mentioning it, the plan to you. So now you take the necessary step and do your research and find out about the plans.
Right,
At the end of the day, you're educating yourself about
right,
the plan, not just knowing about the plan. It's about educating yourself about the plan.
right. Yeah.
And believe it or not, we all have so many plans that we don't even know what's going on with them.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's for sure. But my brother, I have to come off of here. I have to jump off and leave you.
All right, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for coming up.
Hey,
Truly
no problem.
appreciate you
Appreciate
coming
you
up.
having me up.
No problem, man. You're welcome anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, Panta.
All right. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Yes, guys. What is making that song? Hold on. All right. Yes, guys. Thank you, guys, man. Thank you, guys, for coming through, man. You know, don't forget to join us every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're trying to come together, like build a community where we can learn about different hobbies. And like people from the island, you grew up in the island, and there's hobbies that you could remember that your grandmother used to tell you to go outside and bring. We know about the aloes, we know about the seed and the leaf. We know about many hobbies, but what have been happening for the past, I say the past 30 to 40 years, we get drift away from natural herbs. We get to a place where we get dependent, we get very dependable and go in and buy medicine. People got to do what they got to do, but I'm just saying, we lost the connection of herbs and learning how to use the herbs. Many, no problem, the mood, man. Thank you. Appreciate you too, man. Yeah. So we lost the connection from the herbs and the way how we apply the herbs. Our ancestors have their own way. They have their spiritual way. It is always a way how to apply and use these things. You know what I'm saying? They have the practice. They have the way how they move, and the way how you know they mix this stuff is a spiritual way. But we lost all of that. We have no idea about these things. Because we get in the past 20, 30 years, we get into the place where it was so we just go to the store and buy what we need. But before, people used to actually search for herbs. Look, we have so many herbs growing in our yards. In your yard, sometimes you have scrubs. You call it scrubs. We call them scrubs. Growing in your yard, and you cutting them every day, and you paying somebody to come and cut them. And you have no idea that these things is actually good, and these things could be actually your lifesaver. You could make your own fresh oil. You buying oil, you have no idea what's in them. But you could make your nice fresh oil knowing what you put inside your oil. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. But as usual, guys, I just want to say thank you all for coming out tonight. Tonight was a marvelous night. To the beginning, we show a video shout out to NFC Barbados for showing this video. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. And yes, thank you, D-Moon, man, for coming up and giving us this information, man, this knowledge. I'm learning something as well from you again. that Rosemary can stay outside. They is cool hardy. I mean, we learn from each other. So shout out to you. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Life from Scratch. Shout out to everybody who come up in here tonight. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. You guys have a blessed and wonderful night. Peace, love, and blessing. Yes, the mood. Big up yourself, brother. All right. Take care, guys.